Andis professional, lightweight, versatile grooming tools for a best-in-show finish with every stroke. With Andis Power Stroke, you have a heavy-duty, high-speed, power groom for professional results every time you clip. Also, get great horse grooming tips from Dana Boyd Miller and from Andis. Check us out at andis.com, also on Facebook and Twitter.
Well, welcome to our World of Equine News Report for November 2012. Here on Speaking of Horses, I'm your host, Wayne Williams. You know, we recently attended the All-American Quarter Horse Congress held in Columbus, Ohio. And there we had a chance to catch up with Denny Chapman. Now, Denny was a star on the History Channel's Top Shots TV show a couple of years back. He is also a top champion cowboy-mounted shooter, and he was here for cowboy-mounted shooting as a part of the Quarter Horse Congress. Here's a visit I had with Denny. Let's watch. Well, here we are, speaking of horses. We're at the All-American Quarter Horse Congress, and I'm really happy to be standing here with Denny Chapman. Now, Denny's gained a lot of fame here in the last few years. Cowboy-mounted shooting, you've done very well. If you watched on the History Channel a year or two ago, Top Shots, Denny was, you got way down in the finals there for a while, because I know we were watching to see how well you were doing. But welcome, Denny, first of all. And let's start out by saying, how did you do this year at the finals?
Well, Wayne, first of all, it's a pleasure to see you again. I appreciate you having me on the show. Yeah, we just returned from the CMSA World Finals in Amarillo, and it was really fun for me because I'm campaigning a new horse for a client, a stallion. And this is a little different. We're starting to see some bloodlines and some things that people are looking for in my sport of mounted shooting, like specific bloodlines, cow-horse crossed with race blood now. And I've got a great little stallion, Mr. Coco Bueno Rumba, 7-year-old, really beautiful horse, a beautiful buckskin Grullia colored horse that's gaining a lot of attention. He is now qualified for the AQHA World Championships, which will be in Houston in March because of our showing at the World Finals. He did pretty good. We still have some seasoning to go because this was only about his third big match, but he did great, and we're looking forward to campaigning him next year. And one of my other horses won a world title there at the World, so doing good. We're steaming right along.
Well, I know we are standing in the Stagecoach West booth at the Quarter Horse Congress, and you're a guest here for the next couple of days in their booth so people can meet and greet. And also, if you're not aware of it, that now through the Quarter Horse Congress, they now recognize and have a couple of big days of cowboy-mounted shooting here.
Yeah, it's a really big deal for the All-American Quarter Horse Congress to debut the inaugural Quarter Horse Congress cowboy-mounted shooting competition, which is going to be Sunday. I believe that it'll be the 28th, which will be the last day of Congress, I believe, here. And it's a really big deal for the CMSA. You know, they've gained a lot of attention through corporate sponsorship. They've got Wrangler on board, Hart Trailers, some really big recognizable names. And as you can see, I kind of look like NASCAR. I've got a lot of sponsors too. But it's important, you know, to promote those people who are supporting this sport. And our sport is still, by the numbers, the fastest growing equestrian sport in the nation right now. And it's the most fun sport.
It is. And what I'm just thinking, what was going through my mind when you said NASCAR, I can see you saying, yeah, my horse, the Suncoast Shaving Seminole Wellness horse, he was doing well.
That's exactly right. And, you know, it's important to promote the people who promote our sport. And I'm pretty picky when it comes to the care of my horses, and I'm approached by a lot of different companies. And I'm really proud to fly the colors of the companies that I use and keep my horses happy and healthy.
Now, there's something else that you've got going here. We're standing in front of two nice saddles, and these are your signature models. Tell us a little about this.
Well, you know, the neat thing about our sport is that it's kind of demanded the need for special equipment. It's not exactly barrel racing, it's not exactly cow horse stuff, but it's a combination of a lot of different things, and we need saddles that have specific qualities for us as competitors. We need a deep seat saddle that'll kind of keep us down, close contact to the horse, but we need security also because we're running really fast, turning really hard, and doing all these maneuvers like barrel racers do, and working cow horse people rein cow horse, but we're shooting guns at the same time. So sometimes it's hard to think about sitting down deep on your horse. So we've designed these saddles with a nice deep seat, close contact to the horse, and they're just taking off like wildfire wire. This is the base version of the Denny Chapman all-around mounted shooting saddle. It is actually reinforced. You can actually dally off this saddle and use it for ranch work as well. And as you can see, Wayne, this one is kind of the fancier version. This is kind of the premier version.
That's why I stood by this one.
Yeah, so for folks who just want to look a little nicer, and you know, both of these are handmade, hand-tooled. They're not factory-made saddles, and we're really proud of that fact.
Well, I would go for this one because I would not be well in the shooting, so I'd have to look good in the saddle, right? I go for fashion, not form.
You know, that's an interesting point. Not everybody looks like me out there. You know, I'm shoot on a pro level and represent my sponsors. But a neat thing about our sport is it's Americana. It's a little bit of history. And you see some guys out there and ladies looking like they came right out of Lonesome Dove. And they're wearing the wild rags and the wrist cuffs and the woolly chaps, and it's really neat. And that's half the fun of it.
It is. Hey, Denny, it's been a pleasure to talk with you, and we wish you well. And I know you got a lot of things moving on the horizon, but it's always fun to catch up with you. And because we go back quite a few years when you were working at Kentucky Horse Park and developing things, and so it's really nice to see everything progress like it has.
Thank you, Wayne. We look forward to seeing more of Speaking of Horses TV.
We'll do it. Thanks, Denny. Right here at the All-American Quarter Horse Congress. Well, we'll be right back with more here on Speaking of Horses on our World of Equine News Report. Speaking of Horses is made possible by Equessentials Horse Care Products, for products developed by a horse person, for horse people, and horse use. Please check out Equessentials Horse Products. They have all the products you need to perfectly care for your horse's coat and physical appearance and well-being. Equessentials. Victoria Colvin ties for Grand Junior Hunter Championship with Way Cool and Ovation at the Capital Challenge Horse Show in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. That was dated October 7th. The Capital Challenge Horse Show wrapped up another year of fantastic competition and finished with younger junior and children's hunters. Victoria Colvin rode two horses owned by Dr. Betsy Parker, Way Cool and Ovation. Colvin and Ovation, an 11-year-old warm-blood gelding, won through their championship performance in the Small Junior Hunter 15 and Under division, sponsored by Cynthia Williams, New England Farm. Now, they also tied with Way Cool for the High Point Junior Hunter 15 and Under, sponsored by Getaway Farm. Ovation and Colvin won two classes and picked up a third place. With the same ribbons, Colvin and Way Cool, a 10-year-old Hanoverian gelding by Embassy, took the large junior 15 and Under championship. We know recently I had a chance to catch up with Colin Dangard from Australia about his new book. Now, it's a combination of true story and fiction mixed. Colin runs the Australian Stock Saddle Company. He's from Australia, and he is now an author. Here's my visit with Colin. Well, here we are, speaking of horses. We're in Columbus, Ohio, and we are at the Quarter Horse Congress. And I'm happy to be standing here in the Australian Stock Saddle Company booth with Colin Dangard. And Colin is one of the principal owners, or the owner, of the Australian Stock Saddle Company. But he's got a book out. And, of course, you're from Australia, so welcome.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, love this place, except for the rain.
Yeah, it's been raining this morning, but we're here not to talk saddles necessarily this time, but we're here to talk about a book called Talking with Horses that you have out, and it's a historical novel that you describe. So tell us a little bit about this book.
Yeah, Wayne, this is a book about really it's about the history of the horse. The horse is 55 million years old. Man is 5 million years old. And the horse changed very little over that time, except physically, but its brain remained the same. Contrary to us, it's we developed enormous layers of brains, and our physiology also changed somewhat. So it's how we learn to communicate with the horse. And today there are such people who still use that primary old primitive brain that we all have, but modern man, as man developed layers of brain which buried that old brain. But autistic people still have that brain, and it's still a primary cognizant function for them. We don't use that brain hardly ever at all, which makes them a little different to us, so to speak. But my heroine is a young girl, an 18-year-old autistic girl, who, because of her condition, can communicate with a horse. So in that context, she does wonderful things with her horse called Tower, and becomes a national sensation in the jumping circuit, saves the family ranch, has a romance in the hills of Malibu, and like all autistic people, she has a whole fantasy world. And in her fantasy world, she rides with Attila the Hun and falls in love with the lieutenant of Attila the Hun.
So you can actually mix all of the storylines in here, so you can bring all the facts of the different stages of history with a horse into the story that way.
Correct. I've woven actual history into a story, a fictional story about such a girl, and that way I'm able to reveal the enormous importance the horse has had in the life and the evolution of man. And the interesting thing about this is that the horse is that old, and we are that old, but the horse has only been ridden for 5,000 years, that's all. But we've known the horse for millions of years, so I find that really strange, that it's only just like yesterday that we started riding the horse. And the funny thing about that too, in my research, I unearthed the fact that women were the first people to ride horses, the first humans to ride horses, the Sarmatians in year 3500 BC. And because of that, they became the most powerful army in the southern steppes of Russia, where they were.
Well, the horse truly has had its effect on man all through history, and autistic people seem to have a more open mind to have that telepathic type communication with the horse, and they just seem to understand each other better. And those are all factual things we know about. So it looks like a very intriguing book, and I guess you're doing very well in sales, right?
Yeah, sales are going very well on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com, and I'm selling it well on my website. And I've now I have to write a series of these books, so I'm on number 2 already, the sequel. And I've sold the movie rights to the sequel, but I haven't sold the movie rights to the first one. But you know me, Wayne, I'm working on it.
All right, let me show this to you real again. It's called Talking with Horses. There is the book. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, and where else?
And AussieSaddle.com, that's my own website, AussieSaddle.com, AussieSaddle.com.
Well, Colin, thank you very much, and good luck with the book and the movie rights, and it looks like a fascinating read. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Wayne. It's a blast.
And here we are. You never know what you're going to find next here at the Quarter Horse Congress. We're on Speaking of Horses. Stay with us.
Thank you.
18-year-old U.S. Olympian Reed Kessler added yet another accolade to her impressive year with a win in the $100,000 President's Cup Grand Prix presented by Events DC at the 54th Annual Washington International Horse Show. An FEI World Cup qualifier, Kessler topped an impressive list of international competitors aboard her phenomenal mare, Silana, to win in her first time competing in the class. Now, Brazil's Paulo Santana and Tableau finished second, while Australia's Matt Williams and Watch Me VD Mangalar were third. We want to tell you now about trails and groups that support trails. A White Horse gift exchange was held. The Southern Kettle Moraine Trails Association in southern Wisconsin presented a gift and holiday program, and they helped to raise funds to maintain trails all around the southern Wisconsin area. The Trails Group's Holiday Gala. Now, you can get a spot for this by checking on their website, or for next year. The Southern Kettle Moraine Horse Trail Association's holiday celebration is this November, Randy's Restaurant and Fun Hunters Brewery in Whitewater, Wisconsin. Now, the White Horse Gala Gift Exchange is a new activity at this year's gala. It's a fundraiser and a celebration for all that the trails and horse campsite work that has been done by the Southern Kettle Moraine Trails Association. They've upgraded the campsite, they've done much work on the trails, and they've done a lot for the trail rider, and they deserve our support. We'll be back with a story about the All Glory Project and the Horses for Heroes programs coming right up.
Humane manufacturing mats reduce bedding costs. They cushion animals' joints and muscles. Mats will not absorb moisture and animal fluids. You know, all of our recycled rubber mats and rubber floor products are made using only the best of the best, clean, green, and recycled. Antibacterial and antifungal agents are added during the manufacturing process, guaranteed not to curl or buckle as you see here. Rubber mats use the Lock Tough system. Use humane manufacturing stall mats for all of your needs.
You know, the American Morgan Horse announces the 2012 Youth of the Year contest winners. The American Morgan Horse Association Youth of the Year contest took place at this year's Grand National and World Championship Morgan Horse Show, held in October at the Oklahoma State Fairgrounds. It is with great enthusiasm that the AMHA honors Ellery Walker of Marshall, Michigan as its 2012 Youth of the Year winner, and Rebecca Jones of Elfland, North Carolina as the reserve champion. The contestants participate in a rigorous 4-part test throughout the course of 2 days, including a written exam, an oral presentation, an interview, a ridden or driven horsemanship pattern, and a judging division with reasons in proportion as well. Now, you know, there are many equine associations by which you can show your horse in a discipline you wish. One such is the Snaffle Bit Association. I had a chance to talk with its director, Diane Eppers, while I was in Columbus, Ohio. Here's my visit with Diane. We are here at the Quarter Horse Congress in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm really happy to be sitting next to Diane Eppers with the National Snaffle Bit Association, NSBA. And, you know, in announcing all of the shows and things I do, I periodically am running into NSBA all the time, but since Diane is the executive director, she can tell us about it. So tell us how you fit in with all of these other shows, the associations that represent or recognize NSBA, and how those classes, how they meld together.
One of the things that NSBA is doing with many of our alliance partners is we are offering dual approved events at a lot of the major events. So what that means is if the show is going to offer, let's say as an example, Junior Western Pleasure, NSBA will also dual approve that class, so an exhibitor can go in the class and show for their breed points, but if they're also entered in the NSBA portion and they're an NSBA member, then they can get additional bonuses for participating. NSBA awards additional prize money for NSBA members. We have show perks, we've got some additional values, and we also have a program called Smart Points for our youth. So there's a lot of additional value at showing in the NSBA portion of the class.
Yeah, there definitely is. And I was sitting here a while ago, you were talking to some customers in your booth here at the Congress. Tell us a bit about this. I believe it's the Smart Points, but it's how the students can get into the scholarship program?
Yes, our program is called Smart Points, and it's for youth riders age 18 years of age and under, and we're extremely excited about it. It's about 2 years old, and it's quite innovative. When you are showing in an NSBA class and you're a youth exhibitor, you're eligible for incentive money, and this is kind of an industry setting standard because most of the other associations have never offered incentive money for the children's classes. Our incentive program allows a youth exhibitor to earn money that is held in a scholarship account for that youth until they reach age 18 and age out of youth competition. So the payout in that program pays in the 9 and under small fry classes, which you'll see are quite popular at the Paint Association, those approved classes, as well as the apps. And NSBA also offers 9 and under division, as well well as the novice division, which again, it's kind of unusual for there to be incentives in novice youth classes. So in order for someone to be eligible to earn the incentive money for the Smart Points, they need to nominate the individual, the child. It's a one-time $25 fee, and then they need to show a horse that has an NSBA Stallion Incentive Fund license and show in a youth class. Last year, our payout for the Youth Smart Points program was $81.64 per NSBA point. So that's a great incentive program for a lot of the youth, and definitely for the parents to have a reason to participate in the NSBA division.
Oh, it's really, I can just think it's great. I mean, they're having fun showing their horses. They're getting all the right kind of training tools from being around horses, you know, the responsibilities and the things of showing and taking care of the stock. And they're making some money for education as well. I think it's a great program.
It is a great program, and we're quite excited. Again, it's only about 2 years old, and in the last 2 years we have had two children. One received a check for $2,700, and that she was able to take off to go to college. Another youth child received a check for $3,500, and those were children who only had 2 years to participate. So I'm excited about. I have a granddaughter who's 11 years old, and actually my family was raised in the industry, so I'm real excited about a lot of the young blood that have an opportunity to still get rewarded for showing horses and still have that incentive money for college.
Well, that's great. So if people want to learn more about NSBA, what's the website?
NSBA is at www.nsba.com, and we're located in Gurnee, Illinois, and we'd love to have you go to our website, look around. If you've got any questions, pick up the phone, give us a call.
That's great. We're here at the Congress with Speaking of Horses. Diane, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's great to see you.
All right, stay with us. We got more coverage here at the All-American Quarter Horse Congress. We'll be right back with our new product feature. Stay with us.
Woodstar Products offers custom stalls for every barn and every barn style. Woodstar offers top quality design, construction, and customer service for every stall and barn need you can come up with. Custom built for you. Design your own stall with their new system online at woodstarproducts.com. Check them out. That's Woodstar Products.
You know, here on World of Equine News, we like to bring you new and exciting products to help you with your horse or stable. Now, this product comes to us from Overland Carts. It's a great aid in the barn. Watch this new product. We're looking at an Overland cart. There are a wide variety of Overland carts, and we're going to tell you more about these carts right now. Okay. We're looking here at the controls for the cart. There's the on-off switch. It is an electric motorized cart, on-off, easy controls. Here we are, you're looking at our controls similar to motorcycle controls. And you can put your load in the cart and then drive that cart. And it has the 360 pivotal wheels. There are two ways when you get ready to dump your load. Right here, we pull the pin and release, and the body dumps like so. So you get very easy dumping. And then you can take your electric motor and back away as you spread and dump your load. Now, there is a second way to dump. Once that is down and locked in place, you've got your load. You merely push on the handles, and because the rear wheels have locked, you have now dumped your load, and then you can do that and still use your controls to pull away from your load and finish your dump. We're looking here at quite a bit of the variety of equipment that Overland Carts makes. It's some wonderful product and makes life around the stable much, much easier. Here's one of the Overland cart units that has horse feed in the front, has hay in the cart. You could put more feed on the front if you wished. You could also put up to 3 bales of hay in the cart, and it's still very easy to dump. If you watch this, when you get there, you can tip the cart and take your hay right out take your feed off. So you can move that around the barn or wherever you got to take it with your electric motor driving the cart. You've got your bags of grain, you've got your hay, any way there you wish to do it. And it just makes life on the farm that much easier. Now on the unit, we're going to show you how you got easy access to the battery. So we're going to dump the cart, and then we're going to reach down here and pull these pins. And then right below there is easy access to the battery. So once you get down there, you got easy access. Now the battery charger is hanging out the front where you can plug it in and charge, right there. The battery has 5 to 7 hours of life under continual use and 7 to 8 hours of life under intermittent use. All right. Also, let's show again that you have a release inside the dual wheels. If you are out of battery, you reach right in there and release. That disengages the gearbox from the tires, so the motor and battery power, electric motor, are not engaged. Now you can freewheel push it in and out if your battery does run out of power. So that's another safety feature. Also, if you're going up or down a hill, it has an automatic brake that will stop the unit. It will not go down or up a hill in any fashion that you do not want it to. It will hold the load for you. Another nice feature from Overland carts. All right, here we are. Now we're going to show you how you can pull this up. And actually you can pull it up and you could hitch the trailer to it, and then you can move the horse trailer around with the electric drive of this unit. So it's a really handy piece of equipment, not only for dumping and power moving of loads that you have around the farm or in the barn, but moving equipment as well. We have one more thing we want to add. We have just added the Michiana Horse Equine Expo to our program. We'll be there next February. That's February of 2013. So check it out at Michiana Equine Expo or MichianaEvents.com. We're going to be there. And that's our November report. Thanks for joining us. See you next month for our December World of Equine News report. I'm Wayne Williams. Keep joining us on Speaking of Horses.